Are you known for being the go-to expert in your industry? Do you have the influence that you want on your followers and with those potential clients? And how does God's calling into business really help you be seen as the expert that he's already designed you to be? Let's face it, you need to be seen as an expert to those ideal clients that you're trying to attract, that you're trying to influence. When working with my own clients, we talk a lot about this because it's just not enough to be seen having a post on social media or putting up a website or even having a master class or doing any lives. In order to have real influence and to position yourself as an expert, that's just not enough. So what does it take? Well, it actually takes the right message for the right people, your ideal clients. In Calling Clarity, we call this valuable content. By using valuable content, you are really strategic about how you show up, and it creates momentum for your potential clients to not only see you as their solution, but to know the next steps into how to become your actual client. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to go over those 4 elements to creating valuable content. That is informing, inspiring, connecting, and motivating. And I want to give you some practical examples for every step in your client journey. Join me. Hey there, wise woman. This is DeneenTB, your Christian business growth strategist and clarity coach, with another video about God's calling into business for you and how to show up influencing those that he has called you to serve. And God has called you to serve a certain ideal client, right? In fact, they are out there right now, just waiting to hear your message. But what happens so much of the time? Your message gets lost in that sea of sameness, and you find it really hard to stand out and show your expertise. So how can you really position yourself as the expert that you know that you are to those that you're really truly meant to work with? Well, there are 2 things that you need to know. First is that you need to know who you are serving. And second, you need to know how you are serving them. Now, this might seem like an easy task, but let me assure you, it takes more digging than you may think. I imagine when you first did this ideal client exercise that you dug down into the demographics and the psychographics of who they were and who they are. Many times I know our ideal clients are very much like us. They have similar experiences, and that's why we feel really compelled to or led to serve them, help them with what they're doing, right? And let's face it, if you're in an industry competing with many others, it can be really difficult to know how to position yourself as the go-to person. This is where knowing how you are serving your ideal clients comes into play. What do you need to do? Well, you need to get specific. And we're going to say that word a lot, so be ready. You do not need to have the answer for everyone in all the areas where you see that they're having problems. Let's put that to the side first. I want you to think about it this way. One specific person at one specific place seeking one specific transformation. And that's where we want to meet them to solve that particular problem, headache that they are having. The who you are serving and the how you are serving then gets simplified when we think about it this way, so that your message gets amplified, right? Simplify to amplify. I've actually been working with my client Carrie recently on doing this very thing, where she started to dig down into her ideal client. At first, she saw them very much like herself, a mom who wants to have better communication with her children. So she began putting out content around all the different types of issues a mom or a parent has with their children that create that kind of chaotic household. That's a lot of issues. after she worked on this specific exercise, remember the word specific, the one specific client, the one specific place, the one specific transformation, she simplified to mothers, biological, step, foster. Okay, so she narrowed that down, who are having a hard time getting their kids to listen and do as they are told. And they want strategies and tools so that they can have a home that promotes cooperation and is more peaceful. Wow. Carrie positioned herself as the expert in this one specific area. Do you know what this does for her messaging, for her posts, for her website, for all of her content? It allows her to take a deep dive into that one topic and meet her ideal clients exactly where they are right now to help them with that one specific problem that they are experiencing at this very moment. And guess what? They hear her as the expert. Only after you know who you are serving and how you are serving them can you really create the right messaging, the valuable content. The content that will inform them of who you are and what you do. It will inspire them to want to know more because you are sharing your expertise. Connecting to them through stories and knowing what's going on in their own thoughts and motivating them to actually engage with you as the expert. So let's go through these 4 components of the valuable content, and I want to give you some examples of what it actually means. So I hope you have your paper and pencil out, whatever you do to take notes as you're listening. Here we go. The first is valuable content informs. It tells your potential clients who you are and what you do. Now, this seems really basic, I know, but you would be surprised at how many entrepreneurs out there put out this inspirational content and forget to talk about the specifics of their business. It's totally true. It also includes why you are an expert in this area. This means saying things like, working with X number of clients, or in my X number of years working with or helping clients, or hearing my clients say this over and over again. It can also include testimonials that you have from clients. Don't forget to state any credentials that you have, and of course, mention your methodology, your processes, your blueprints, whatever you're calling it, because this is your intellectual property and it appeals to your ideal clients. And include lessons that you've learned as well. Now, I'm not saying that all of this goes into one piece of your valuable content, but these are ideas so that you can choose the pieces that fit together for any particular post. I know you're smart like that. Okay, the second thing we're going to look at is valuable content inspires. Inspiring your potential clients with your valuable content means you want them saying to themselves, hey, me too, or wow, I need this. You are inspiring them to want to know more by giving some tips, some strategies for the problem that you solve and the way that you solve it. I call this giving them things from your front yard. This is all your free content, right? Your posts, your lead magnets, your lives, your masterclasses, maybe even a YouTube video. You want to make them feel that the content that you are giving them is so good that they can't even imagine what you have in your backyard, because that's even better, right? That's the part that is your paid program. That's really fun to do. The third thing is that valuable content connects. You connect to your potential clients by telling stories. You want to let them know that you understand what they're going through because you have either been there and been through it yourself or have helped other clients through it. They've got to know this. You really get where they are in their journey. Your messaging, well, it's actually their very own words spoken back to them. You must connect your words with their words to be the very things that they are thinking. In Calling Clarity, we help you find those words through what we call our potential client interviews. It's about building relationships with people online. This can be questions that you have so someone can join your Facebook group, or using Messenger to have a more private conversation than you can actually have in the feed, in a group, or on your page. This is how you know what they are thinking, and you can use it in your valuable content. Whew, lots of great things here, right? So the fourth thing we're going to talk about is that valuable content motivates. It must motivate them to actually do something. Now, we call these CTAs, right? Calls to action. Every single piece of content must have a CTA. Every post, every live, every story, every webinar, every class, every video, every email, whatever it is, it must have a call to action. There has to be a way for them to engage in the information in some way. And you need it to be very specific about how you want them to engage. From simply answering a question, clicking like, signing up for your masterclass, or getting on a discovery call. You have to tell them what to do. You have to tell them how to do it, and you have to tell them where to do it. Yes, be that specific. Remember, your potential clients are also at different places on their journey with you. Some are just becoming aware of you, while others are considering if you're actually the person to help them. And still others are ready to make a decision to buy from you. You have to meet these needs with your CTAs. You have to get them noticing you and seeing you as the expert that they need. So let's look at what this looks like at the different stages. At the awareness stage, the CTAs are things like inviting them to comment or answering questions, clicking on your blog post, getting a tip sheet. At the consideration stage, this means maybe downloading some other lead magnets that you have, joining a Facebook group, or inviting them to a masterclass, or actually just inviting them to have a call or consultation with you. These are all things that are still free and get them to see more of you. And then at the decision stage, this is directly asking them to sign up for your coaching, register for a workshop or class that is paid, or downloading a course that you have. Your valuable content must reflect all three of these levels of your client journey, because you want to build that know, like, and trust factor and really be seen as the expert that they need. So I hope you know about the 80-20 rule, right? The 80-20 rule applies here. That means that 80% of the content that you put out there needs to be in those awareness and consideration stages, while only 20% is in the decision stage. You know, positioning yourself as an expert to have real influence really means knowing who you are serving and getting the message right, so that they hear you. Have you been frustrated with the amount of engagement you get on your own content? Maybe no likes, no comments. Are you tired of that low open rate on your carefully crafted emails? You know, it all comes down to knowing who you are specifically serving, where they are specifically on their journey, and what transformation they are specifically seeking. Are you confident about this? Are you ready to have a God-centered business that is designed for you, that He designed for you? Do you want to have more influence and you want to make a bigger impact on those that God has called you to serve? If you said yes to any of those questions, then we need to have a chat. Yes, this is your CTA, your call to action. Click the link down in the description. Set up your appointment today. This call is free so that we can get to know one another. I want to know more about what God has called you to do through your business, through that entrepreneurship that he's placed on your heart. I want to see if you're ready to be part of Calling Clarity. Don't miss this opportunity to know more about how you can create valuable content that will have you positioning yourself as the expert to those that you have been designed to serve. This is DeneenTB. Thanks so much for being here with me. Make sure to do all the things on the video. Like it. Comment below if you have any takeaways. And make sure to subscribe. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, be filled to overflowing.